If you really respected our nation, you would be living vegan. You are responsible for their murder. The blood is on your hands.
Oh, deep breaths, ladies and gentlemen. Deep breaths.
Hey, I'm Tash, also known as Vegan Booty. This is a response video to Isaac Butterfield's clip called Vegan Booty Attacks Australian Firefighters.
This story is about our friend of the channel, Vegan Booty, Tash Peterson. She's at it again. I've said everything there is to be said about this young lady, but I'll say something else. She's now been hanging out the front of a chain store in Australia called Bunnings, which is a hardware retailer, yelling at people about eating meat.
You are responsible for their murder. The blood is on your hands.
You must have some spare time.
Yes, I certainly have enough time to speak up against a huge injustice for the most oppressed beings on this planet, non-human animals. Seems like you have quite a bit of time on your hands too, since this is the 5th video you've made about me, Isaac.
But we've all been there. Who hasn't stood at the front of Bunnings and yelled at people, yelled at strangers? Come on, it's just natural, right? But what pissed everybody off in Australia was twofold. Number one, she was interrupting people having a Bunnings snag. The sacred Bunnings barbecue was interrupted and people would not stand for it.
I chose to interrupt Bunnings because they were selling sausages made out of the murdered bodies of sentient beings. I am willing to disrupt someone's day to tell them the truth that they're participating in the most horrific violence that exists on this planet. People unknowingly eat animal products and they have no idea what they are actually contributing to. I suggest seeing Dominion Movement on YouTube to see the atrocities that happen inside the meat, dairy and egg industries.
And secondly, she was blowing up about firefighters cooking a barbecue because even though firefighters are great people and save people's lives, but she said this, she was like, no, I respect you, but you shouldn't be cooking meat because meat causes forest fires, or bushfires, or house fires, and global warming.
Yes, this is exactly right, and I'm glad that you worded the truth here. Of course, I respect the work and what firefighters do. They obviously risk their lives to save people and save others. But what they didn't realize is how hypocritical it was that they were selling animal flesh, which is the very reason why climate change is happening. Yes, of course, there are other factors that determine and increase climate change. However, animal agriculture is the leading cause of climate change. See how hypocritical it was that firefighters were having a fundraiser for the very thing that is fueling Australian fires. And not only that, firefighters have dedicated their lives to saving others' lives, yet the very thing they were using for their fundraiser was selling murdered bodies of innocent beings. I know, but the very reason they're fighting fires is because of your consumption of animal products. That's why there's mass fires happening. Animal agriculture is the leading cause of climate change. If you really respected our nation, you would be living vegan.
They are firefighters.
And they have to fight fires because of people's selfish consumption of animal products, because animal agriculture is the leading cause of climate change, deforestation and wildlife extinction.
Okay, let's just fucking figure out if she's correct, alright? Now there's a lot of websites that actually back up what she says, but they're all websites that are funded by vegan organisations, so you can basically take that with a grain of salt. The burning of fossil fuels for electricity and heat accounts for the majority of greenhouse gas emissions. That's not a surprise to anyone. Totaling 31% of annual global greenhouse gas emissions, followed by transportation, manufacturing, and then animal agriculture, which includes meat, dairy, eggs, all that type of stuff.
Isaac, you're incorrect again there with that statement. The world's leading scientists have shown that animal agriculture is one of the leading causes of climate change, and there's enough evidence to show that it is the leading cause of climate change. This study, conducted by the researchers at the University of Oxford, found that eating a vegan diet could be the single biggest way to reduce your environmental impact on Earth. Researchers at the University of Oxford found that cutting meat and dairy products from your diet could reduce an individual's carbon footprint from food by up to 73%. The study says if everyone stopped eating these foods, they found that global farmland use could be reduced by 75%. Not only would this result in a significant drop in greenhouse gas emissions, it would also free up wild land lost to agriculture, one of the primary causes of mass wildlife extinction. The new study, published in the journal Science, is one of the most comprehensive analyses to date, looking into the detrimental effects farming can have on the environment, and included data on nearly 400,000 farms in 119 countries. The findings reveal that meat and dairy production is responsible for 60% of agriculture's greenhouse gas emissions, whilst the products themselves providing just 18% of calories and 37% of protein levels around the world. There's also some really great information on a website called wilderness.org, and the document is called The Environmental Impacts of Beef Production in Australia. The main driver of deforestation in Australia is for livestock, particularly beef cattle. 90% of Queensland's forests are destroyed to become grazing land for farmed animals. Deforestation is a significant driver of biodiversity loss and greenhouse gas emissions in Australia. It is estimated that 50 million native animals are being killed by land clearing in Queensland and New South Wales alone every year. Deforestation contributes to increased fire risk by exacerbating climate change through carbon emissions and increasing the severity and duration of regional droughts. This again is enough strong evidence to suggest that animal agriculture is the leading cause of climate change, deforestation, wildlife extinction, water and air pollution, habitat loss, ocean dead zones, and a majority of other environmental catastrophes.
And maybe she has a point. Maybe meat does have an effect on the environment, but so does cars. How did you get to that Bunnings vegan booty? So does heating and cooling. Do you have an air conditioner at home, vegan booty? So does the manufacturing sector, like where you bought that Australian flag that for some reason you splashed blood on. I don't understand that. Or that sign that says Australia has blood on its hand. Did somewhere manufacture that for you? Or what about your shit merch? Was that manufactured by someone? My point being, vegan booty, that even your shoes that are made out of rubber, which affects the environment as well to grow that fucking rubber. All of this contributes to greenhouse gas emissions, deforestation, and all that type of shit that you are so dead against. Because if you're so concerned about deforestation, I hope you don't use any wooden products. I hope you don't use any soy products. I certainly hope you do not drink coffee or have sugar in your tea. All of these things have to do with deforestation. You fucking hypocrite.
You can try and point out my hypocrisies as much as you like, and I'm not going to deny the fact that my lifestyle contributes to climate change and deforestation. However, by being vegan alone, I have reduced my carbon footprint by 73%. Being on a plant-based diet is the single biggest thing you can do to reduce your environmental impact. It is possible to ethically source all of those things that you've listed. However, it is nearly impossible to ethically source animal products because they're always going to involve innocent beings being shot in the head, as well as mass forest destruction. As I mentioned earlier, 90% of Queensland's forest destruction is because of animal agriculture. The exact same statistic is for the Amazon rainforest as well, and that just goes to show that a majority of forest destruction is because of animal agriculture. When you eat meat, dairy and egg products, you are directly responsible for enhancing climate change and mass environmental destruction. Just because we can't live 100% cruelty-free doesn't mean that we should continue to pay people to slit animals' throats and contribute to the most horrific environmental disaster that is occurring on our planet, all because of animal agriculture. It is time to stop eating meat, dairy and egg products, to stop contributing to mass animal suffering, as well as the suffering of our very own planet.
They are no different to dogs. They're actually more intelligent than them. You are responsible for their murder. The blood is on your hands.
But maybe this is just all a misunderstanding, and maybe Vegan Booty just left her wallet at home, her vegan wallet, of course, and she couldn't buy one of these delicious Bunnings' snags, right? And she just had the shit. She's not her when she's hungry. Hashtag get Vegan Booty a snag. To wrap it all up, you should eat some meat. It might cause a bit of deforestation, but meat's delicious.